So I think before we start, just to make sure that all of our time be
Nuestro
most
tiempo
meaningful,
va a ser de lo más útil y
most
provechoso,
beneficial,
el más beneficioso.
Like what Nagarjuna says, that that one practice, that one attitude, which is the supreme method, that which brings maximum benefit for your own well-being as well as others' well-being, which is the bodhicitta attitude. So we try to generate the altruistic intention on the basis of refuge in Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha. May our time be, virtuous contribution to your family, friends, to the nation, and to the entire world. So may our time be most meaningful. Yeah, so now we can start the question.
Qué bien. Pues la primera es, ¿cuál es la diferencia de la meditación budista a la de otras tradiciones de meditación?
So the question is, what is the difference between Buddhist meditation and other traditions on meditation?
Yeah, so Buddhist meditation and non-Buddhist meditation, or so the difference is the difference comes from the intention, the actual process of practice, and including the result that brings about from meditation. As far as concerned with the Buddhist meditation, the intention at least has to be focusing from future lifetimes benefit, for the benefit of higher wisdom, like such as a wisdom of concentration, shamatha, wisdom of emptiness, which can able to benefit us to progress on the stages of path, which will lead to liberation, which is free from the sixth realm of stylic existence. So Buddhist meditation, the intention is not just to tranquilize yourself, not just to space out yourself, not just to feel good, or not just for a higher concentration within this, within this sixth realm existence, like such as higher concentrations of formless realms. So these are not Buddhist meditation's intention to be achieved. It has to be for at least liberation. Then best is enlightenment. So when it comes to practice, actual practice of meditation, very much comes in the two form: the contemplative meditation and analytical, analytical form of meditation. You see that, so yeah, very much is two kind of meditation. Or in another way, we can also say concentrational meditation and absorption meditation. If we go more strict, terminology, then we can use that. And those are very profound. It's scattered the meditation practice in all form of Buddha's teachings of Buddha's three baskets of teaching, and these meditations are scattered within the three higher trainings, three higher training conducts, scattered everywhere, Then the ultimate goal of those meditation, it helps to free the meditator from the entire existence of samsara. that's the ultimate benefit of meditation. And that's also ultimate purpose of meditation. So therefore, from here, you can see quite clear the differences from Buddhist meditation and the meditation that usually, everywhere, all the meditation in the world may have very important purposes, very beneficial, meanings in meditations. But Buddhist meditation highlight with those three characteristics, as I mentioned before. Later, if in case not clear, then you can ask me again, or if you think certain thing that which not really sounds relevant, you can debate with me. Just feel easy, okay?
The next question. Hello, Gisela. Thank you for your time.
Hello.
My name is Alejandro.
That's wonderful. You're asking one by one, like that's wonderful. That's nice.
Yes, more or less.
yeah, it's more engaged. I'm talking straight to the person.
So the second question, it says like, for a person who is starting to meditate, what meditation technique would Gisela recommend to this person? For a person who just started.
Oh, okay. They just mentioned, the three important factors: the motivation, the actual practice, and the final, the final goal that you aspire for. If someone asks me, how to do meditation, I will definitely guide on the basis of that principle as a Buddhist practitioner. Then as far as concerned with the actual practice, I think I very much will have a conversation with that person first, see what kind of label that person can able to take it, starting from like a preliminary practice of meditation, such as like just simply focusing on breathing. That also introduced in Lama Tsongkhapa's teaching, like in the Lamrim, start with focusing on breathing in and out, let's say, 22 times, then half an hour, 1 hour, 3 hours, then from there, then you develop, from there, then you can choose, hundreds and hundreds and different kind of meditation object, can be emptiness, can be compassion, or, can be even the infinite phenomena, to increase our inner capability of understanding and the basis of the ultimate nature of all the phenomena. So yes, I think if someone relate to me, if someone asks me, I think I will engage that person in this way.
Thank you, Gisela.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gisela. The next question is, there are some people that when they begin to meditate, they see colors or has a strange sensation, like going out of their own body. What advice can you give to these people, to them?
Yeah, that kind of experiences can be categorized into two. One could be really the sensation that arise from meditation, or one could be just hallucinational kind of experiences. So not 100% necessarily that's something to be focused onto. That kind of experience. But the sign of the meditation is taking impact to the meditator can be varieties, but the main sign, I think, what we have to look for is the transformation that's happening in you. If the delusion is getting less and lesser, and the wisdom and compassion is increasing, I think that is the most obvious sign of meditation. You know, there's a question answer that happened between Buddha and one of the students. You know, they asked Buddha, what have you gained from meditation? And Buddha says, I didn't gain anything, but I lost a lot of things. You know, I lost anger, I lost fear, I lost anxiety, you know, I lost delusions, you know, etc., etc. You know, so I think what we need to expect, the real sign of meditation is the real transformation from negative to positive. You know, I think that's the main sign. The sensation, all these, if you feel it's beneficial, then you take account and you can acknowledge it as a beneficial sign. It doesn't make any sense, it doesn't really inspire you, then forget about it. No need to think about it. If it is disturbing you, then you discard it. Even how lightning, you know, shine onto you, you know, if it is disturbing to your meditation, you should put aside, I think.
Okay, many thanks, Gisela. The next question is from Oliver Svatek. Oliver, do you want to open your microphone so you can speak with Gisela?
Well, I feel a bit pressured, but okay, I'm gonna try. Hello, good evening. Thank you for taking.
Good evening.
My name is Oliver, by the way.
Thank you.
My question is more on before sitting down on the cushion and meditating, the preparation itself. So what would you recommend to us to do before meditating? And one thing I'm really struggling is how we should choose a meditation object.
So I think before we sit down, you know, usually in traditional Buddhist meditation practice, you know, for us to get ready in the meditation shrine, if you have a shrine, but then if you are like Milarepa in the cave, you have nothing, then that's fine. But if you have, then, you know, go to, you know, clean up the altar, set up proper offerings, you know, and you know, all the like general preparatory practices. Have a comfortable sitting area, then you settle yourself, and making sure that, you know, that not external factor will obstacle, you know, your dedicated time of meditation. You know, that's the main thing that you need to get ready before you settle down. So then once you settle down, then of course, you know, one of the first thing is to set up a correct motivation as a Buddhist meditator on the basis of proper refuge to your resultant achievement, which is Buddhahood. So therefore, you know, just to create a very special karma, meditator's karmic connection, even just from that meditation session, you take refuge in Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Then after that, set as a positive motivation as possible. If best is to set up altruistic motivation. That way, your meditation effort going to be not only beneficial to your own well-being, but it will be beneficial to entire numberless sentient beings' well-being. You know, you are one alone doing meditation, but you are in fact benefiting rest of the numberless sentient beings. You know, through that simple meditation. Then after that, it comes about the choosing of the object. In Buddhist scriptures, you know, all the meditation guideline, you know, teachings from sutra, from tantra, emphasize to choose, you know, virtuous object in order to, even just from the reflecting your mind on the object of meditation, you know, brings accumulation of merit and brings the benefit of purifications of negativities. And for that purpose, say choose virtuous object. So virtuous objects such as, a few examples, such as Buddha's, if you want to use a form, then you can use like such as a Buddha's holy body, Buddha's eye, or Buddha's aura, or light, but not just light, not just electricity light, but a light that which have a recognition as a Buddha's energy, like a Dharmakaya energy, appear in the light form, and you are placing your mind onto that light. So then that light, which is object of your meditation, become virtuous object of meditation. Then you can also choose like emptiness. You can choose as object of, you can choose objects such as bodhicitta, compassion, etc., etc. So that's one thing. Now, if you are doing very specific meditation to gain specific result, like shamatha, the 9 stage of mental stability, shamatha, then whatever object that you choose, it has to be chosen that something that which is very familiar to you, very easy to focus, and at the same time, best is to be virtuous object again. If it's not virtuous object, but then at least through your motivation, through your virtuous motivation, you can influence that meditation as a virtuous practice. So the best you can choose virtuous object like Buddha's eye, because Buddha's every single atom of Buddha's physical body or Buddha's qualities are enlightened quality, therefore it's virtue. Just placing your concentration on that, you accumulate merit, you purify karma, you see. So in any way, for shamatha meditation, from very beginning to the realization of the shamatha, you cannot change the object of meditation. You try to train your mind to stabilize your single-pointed focus and clarity of the object. So that's one thing. But then if you are doing analytical meditation, then you can choose a discursive object of meditation. So it can be anything, it can be very complicated subjects, you can choose as object of meditation. So like if you refer to Lamrim Chemo, the object of meditations are unbelievably many, so like an example, you are doing meditation to purify attachment, then you choose such as object that, let's say you want to reduce attachment grasping to certain object, then your meditation object should be the faulty aspect of the object. Let's say if you are if the meditator have a problem of very strong desire to physical body, then you choose the ugliness of that physical body to meditate on it, etc. You see, so there are plenty like that. So also good to know what is your ultimate purpose, because as a Buddhist, ultimate purpose is enlightenment, liberation. But the immediate purpose, also good to know. Immediate purpose is to increase wisdom. Immediate purpose of meditation is to eliminate desire, eliminate anger, etc. Then accordingly you can choose the meditation object. Or if you just have a very, very busy mind, uncontrollable mind, cannot sit still your mind, then you just choose one simple object, as long as you can easily place your mind. In Buddhist teaching, recommended your own breathing, because your breathing, it comes naturally in you. You don't have to go and search somewhere else. So since it's a naturally, without any effort, breathing in and out, and you just simply be aware, place your mind to be aware of that breathing in and out, and train to in that for 1 minute, 2 minutes, you know, as I mentioned earlier, like for 22 minutes or then half an hour. Then if you can able to do that for about 3 hours, then your mind will be very stable, you know, something like that.
Thank you, Geshe-la. The next question is related to calm abiding, shamatha. And this person says that she or he has the feeling that, well, the question is, I have the feeling that I got stuck in calm abiding type of meditation. I want to make progress, but I don't know how to. If you could give me any advice, I would be very grateful.
First of all, I rejoice that you are already, you know, achieved calm abiding and you are stuck there, you know, already unbelievable, you know. I salute, you know. Okay. Then secondly, yes, it is so true that don't stuck there, because there are much more to go further, you know. And in Buddhist meditation journey, the next is special insight. Usually those meditators that even though achieve such a high realization, even shamatha, but then not progressing, stuck there, most of the time their meditation object is something common one, not uncommon one. So common and uncommon here is the special insight meditation is only happen when your object of meditation, your object of shamatha meditation object is emptiness. Then you can move forward. You can move on to the special insight. With nothing else, with none of the other meditation object can move further in meditation level, except the serviceable shamatha capability on emptiness. So now the suggestion, according with the Buddha's teaching, is now you use the serviceable shamatha mind to further for some time to get sustainable shamatha on emptiness. So once you get the stable, because when you, even though you achieve shamatha, but using a common object of meditation, when you start to use emptiness, still may struggle, even though you already achieve shamatha, but may struggle a bit, not as like a beginner, but still, you know, certain inconvenience may occur. So for that purpose, then you try to familiarize with the new object of your shamatha meditation, which is now emptiness. Then on the basis of full concentration on emptiness, and you generate another portion of your smart mind, your analytical mind to do observation on the nature of the phenomena. So this is how that you progress in the special insight. So if you want to refer to certain texts, let's say I recommend the Lama Tsongkhapa's Lamrim Chemo, the special insight section. You know, even at the very end of the shamatha section, that you are already introduced how to progress your shamatha realization onto greater meditation or special insight. So I would say that if I want to make in a very short, you know, one single word, you progress by progressing into special insight, from shamatha to special insight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alejandro, do you have another questions in the?
I think the next one is no, I have the next one.
Yeah.
Sorry. The next one is about laziness, but when in Spanish the word is desidia, which is it refers to a type of laziness, which is the lack of interest of doing the meditation. So this says, when what can I do when laziness arises in my practice and I feel discontent about the Dharma?
So again, and according with the Buddha's teaching, like Lamrim Shemo and all the treatises, including sutra, both Sutra and Tantra, great teaching on meditation. So whenever the obstacle of two major obstacles in meditation, the laxity and excitement. The laxity is very much laziness, losing interest in the practice. You are not get motivated, or even you get motivated but easily get lost. So so the antidote for that, emphasize in the teaching, for you to so there are few methods. One of them is, don't do long meditation session, do short meditation session. When you want to do, you just do for a short time, and before you lose your interest, you stop the session. It could be just 1 minute, and never force yourself to do long, lengthy, don't do that. So that's one thing. And that short session, you try to repeat, whenever you like to, and if you can able to repeat more, it's beneficial. So usually the point here is, when after you engage in meditation, you start to feel good, you stop there. And at the end, the feeling goodness is the is the main key point that will lead you to do more. And that little time, the accumulation of the benefit of meditation will eventually regain back your interest in meditation. So that's one thing. The second antidote is, you can take pause from meditation, then try to read or listen or think about the qualities of Buddha, like such as a biography, read the biographies of those Mahasiddhas, the Mahasiddhis of those meditators, how much they express the bliss, the benefit that they gain from meditation, all the higher knowledge that they gain from meditation, how they experience the freedom from day-to-day, confusions and the problems and the sufferings. When you hear about their story, it's so inspiring. I really, like I want to become just like them. So there are plenty of biographies and stories out there, like such as A.T. Mahasiddha's stories, the great Kadamba master of the earlier and then in the new, like Lama Tsongkhapa's, their stories. Even in our time, there are so many living practitioners, sanghas, lay practitioners, young and old, through meditation, their life have changed. They really gain so much benefit. So you can think about that, and get inspired. You will get inspired. So that's another method. Then there's another antidote is based on the Buddha's teaching, for us to reflect on the preciousness of our precious human rebirth, like such as 8 freedoms and 10 endowments. Oh, that will uplift you. Wow, I have so wonderful qualities and capabilities. Oh, I cannot waste my time without doing meditation. I cannot waste time without practicing Dharma. Wow, and also you can really witness the preciousness of human body in relation to other human beings. Some have a wonderful capabilities of their human life, but then get lost like that. The impermanence of life occur, sickness occur, death occur, and some people even wish to practice, but there's no freedom to practice. Some people, they wish to, learn, but there's no teacher. Like in our case, in our time, like we have almost every conditions, every conditions. It is the era, it is the time that we are living when the compassionate Buddha Cherezik is physically among us, compassionate Buddhas, physically, among us, if we relate to Tibetan Buddhism from Nyingma, Kagyu, Sajya, Gelug, all these great Lama that we're living among us, like such as His Holiness the Dalai Lama, like Sakyatizan, etc., all these great Lamas are embodiment of enlightened Buddhas, and they are in a human form among us, and they are so happy to teach us, they are so happy to teach even from online, especially we realize that during the COVID, like Dharma is like a rainfall, on us, so when you think of that, wow, amazing, you naturally start to gain so much interest, preciousness in learning Dharma.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you.
Another question is, it is necessary and important in the process of develop samatha, the guidance of a master or teacher? And if so, how should one go to a master and request him if he can be your guide and give you the instructions and the necessary advice for the practice?
For shamatha practice, it is not something that you must like kind of receive like transmissions, like how we receive initiations. It's not something must. But if you're able to like to receive like commentary on the shamatha teaching or a transmission on shamatha teaching, then more than that, if you're able to receive pit instruction from a qualified guru to do such retreat, then definitely will be so beneficial. But otherwise, one thing must is we must study the teaching. We must study. Then of course, when we study, of course there are books available, but still, it's still good to refer to a person guru, person teacher. Definitely you will have a much more thing to get than just whatever wrote in the book. And always there's a benefit. But ultimate point here is we cannot go wrong with the instruction for the meditation, especially to do with shamatha. We cannot go wrong. We have to know exactly what to do and how to do, or otherwise we'll have a great obstacle. So that's one thing. Yeah. Then when you go for the retreat, if you're fully confident in the knowledge of the shamatha retreat, then basically not necessary, you need anybody around you, like such as like Milarepa, like including such as my late guru, they went for that kind of retreat completely isolated from anyone else because they are fully confident how to solve the problem if any problem arises in the meditation, because they have a full knowledge and they're already, certain preparation is already done, day-to-day training in how to do shamatha meditation. And basically when they went into retreat, it's very much like concentrated, not interrupted retreat, like that. But then as a beginner, based on the teaching, say you must be around where easily can access to guidance if you need. So for a beginner, it is quite essential to do the retreat. In one way, it's a bit isolation, but at the same time, it's easy accessed. Because in the shamatha teaching, talks about this major important, necessary conditions to be actualized. One of them is, toksang is a good companion. Means someone is good in that knowledge.
Thank you, Gisela. Another questions we have here said, after some time meditating, I begin to see with great detail negative emotions and thoughts, and I never thought I had, very recurrent. This is not something that happens just during the meditation, but also in everyday life. So several questions. Why all these negative thoughts come to me, and why do I have so many of them? And also many of these thoughts make me feel guilty. Is there any way of working with this?
So there are a few points here. Usually, don't really arise, those particular negativities, but whenever you do meditation, whenever you practice, then those negativities arising means it's not a bad thing. In fact, because of the practice, your mind become clearer to detect the dirtiness, clearer to detect those negations, those negativities, which is good, because in order to purify the negativity, first you need to recognize the negativities. Before you purify, negate the negation, like what Lama Tsongkhapa says, you must recognize the negation first. Like if we want to chase away the thief, we need to recognize the thief. Otherwise, who to chase, isn't it? Chase away, isn't it? So similar way. So, so many people, do misunderstand, and sometimes they don't get immediate guidance about this area. When people go for retreat, when people start to learn Dharma, when people start to practice, suddenly more negativities arises in their mind. They thought, oh, Dharma is harming me, but actually it's not. Actually, Dharma is working on you, because those negativities are, in fact, already there, but they were there in a very subtle and very settled way, and almost undetectable. It's like rooted in yourself. But because of Dharma practice, it's kind of surfaced. Because it kind of surfaced, it cannot settle there, so which is good. So when you detect, and in such position, the practitioner cannot give up the practice. The practitioner have to realize, oh, now I can detect the negation. Now I should put even greater effort. Now I know what is the problem. Now I should put effort to eradicate I should practice until I am able to eradicate completely. But many make a mistake, they give up Dharma. So we shouldn't make that mistake. So that's the one thing. Usually, full of negativities, it's very much almost same for all samsaric people. This is called samsara. Samsara is because of full of delusion. The only difference is either is manifesting obviously, or either is like quietly rooted in ourselves. So those are the few differences. So therefore, I would usually say arising negativities as a samsaric person is not so bad. But after arise and let it arise, let it be there, is a mistake of, we practitioner, in particularly, we met the Dharma, we have Dharma wisdom, and we have this human intelligence. When the negativity arise, and let the negative emotion to take the power, that is mistake. You see, so not only to us, even those who are in a higher path, they also arise anger. They also arise attachment. They also arise jealousy. And even somehow who are in a very high path, even though the karma and delusions are purified, but the tendency, because in the past lifetime or the earlier lifetime, whatever the imprint that have not purified, reflects back. So that kind of experience also happened, you see. So therefore, even, as long as you met the Dharma, then you have all the reason to stay focused on the Dharma practice and not to feel discouraged because of, frequent negativities arises, not to feel guilty, because guilty feeling doesn't really help. Rather, you feel more motivated in the practice. Rather you feel more motivated to practice, because I see I have full of delusion. So if I should practice harder, you should think like that. you know, rather than, oh, you know, I'm so bad, you know, I have so much delusion, you know, I'm hopeless, you know, we cannot think like that as a Dharma practitioner, you see. And usually one of the main practice of the Dharma is for us to detect all those negative emotions in us. Detect one by one, from gross to subtle, then negate it one by one. That's how we purify, you know, like that. So that's why when we purify the negativity, you know, we talk about four opponent power. The second one, even though in the teaching say regret, but for me, I interpret that as, because regret can be, even though the regret, the using of the word regret is correct, you know, regretting to the negativities actually is regarded as a virtue. But if the practitioner not really clear about it, because regret means bring unhappiness to you. You know, you feel regret, you feel bad, and that bad feeling is no good. So that's why usually how I label it, regret here is like detecting negative as a negative, false as a false. You just acknowledging false as a false, then only then you can able to purify very effectively, something like that.
Many thanks, Gisela. Another question says, I have been meditating for some time and I know how to calm my mind and even reflect on a topic from Lamrim or from a book I am reading. But what I do not know is how to deal with certain problems in everyday life, in meditation. Normally, when I am meditating and my attention goes to a daily problem, I bring the mind back to the breath in order to calm it and avoid the thought. Could you give me some advice on how to deal with a personal problem in meditation itself?
Just what you have said, during a meditation, when your mind wanders around and you bring back the mind, that is the exact technique that teaching taught. When you study the shamatha section there, you know, and that can relate to all meditation topic. This is the exact technique that what you are doing, which is perfect technique, and you just keep doing it. Eventually, you will gain back the full control, concentration to the meditation object, whatever meditation object you are doing. So this is the correct technique. You just have to continue to repeat by understanding this is a correct method. Never giving up. You know, one day you will succeed. So that's one thing. Then the second thing is, you know, as I also mentioned before, whenever the distractions are mainly the obstacle of excitement. You know, for any meditation, there are two major obstacles. One is down mind, and another one is a scattered mind. You know, the distraction. So whenever there's a distraction or a scattered obstacle occur to your meditation from any subject, based on the teaching, say reflect, you know, you pause from meditation and you reflect on the faults of samsara. You reflect on the limitations of samsaric existence. You know, you focus, you meditate, you know, you do a short meditation on the sufferings and the limitation of three lower realms, you know, then your scattered mind will start to kind of calm, you know, start to stay more focused. So that's one of the technique. And whenever you feel down, as I already mentioned before, when you feel like you cannot focus, you're losing your focus because of you feel sleepy, you feel no energy in meditation, no inspiration in meditation, then you reflect on the qualities of the Buddha, qualities of precious human rebirth, and there you gain uplifting, you know, inspirational mind. So like that. But then if you are talking about general obstacle in life, right? When, you know, you have, you know, if the meditator have a like business problem, a relation problem, health issues, you know, if individual practitioner may have that kind of problem, and you are still kind of doing daily meditations, then just by doing daily meditation will accumulate merit, if you do properly, as I mentioned before, like the Buddhist way, you know, the 3 important factors are there, then each time you do meditation, you accumulate merit. Each time you do meditation, you purify karma. And that is the method. Eventually you clear your obstacle in life. Okay, I will just on the light, okay? Okay, yes, I'm back.
Okay, Gisela. Now, Venerable Fabio has 2 questions. Venerable Fabio, do you want to open your microphone so you can speak?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Tashitele Gisela.
Venerable.
And thank you very much for this inspiring cafe meditation session.
Thank you.
I have 2 questions, but I think they're related, but okay, I have 2. First is, why is so important to practice analytical meditation? And the second one is, can you explain, please, how analytical meditation can eliminate all delusions or negative emotions?
Yeah, so the analytical meditation, which is also called in the teaching as a discursive, you know, meditation on the discursive objects by a discursive mind, which is like smart analytical mind, which is helpful. In fact, which is helpful for special insight, you know, the progressing along the special insight purposes. Because when we develop our realization on the stages of the path, you know, we need to gain the wisdom, realizing emptiness in relation to entire existence. You see, so the familiarity, knowledge in entire existence, like how that you know, presented in Hasutra, that when you do meditation on, you know, so many different, like start from the form, then individually, including, you know, the like rest of the 5 aggregates, you know, the constituent and etc., you know, troublings, Four Noble Truth, you know, in fact, entire knowledge, you know, you do meditation. That is more of for the individual to, you know, channel through the higher wisdom. So that's the one of the main purposes. So that way, the analytical meditation in relation to special insight, it is important and it is the most beneficial in eradicating the defilement. The reason is the reason, in order to purify the most subtle, you know, negations, like, you know, the delusions on the stages of the path, you cannot afford to detect and negate just by, you know, one-pointed mind. You see, you also need the sharp, smart mind to able to you know, how to say, to able to overpower the entirety aspect of that negation. So you need both the one-pointedness at the same time the sharpness. So the one-pointedness is the shamatha, single-pointed. The sharpness is the special insight, which is the wisdom aspect of the you know, the meditative mind. You see, so these are specifically apply when you start to travel from the 10 bhumis, because when you travel from the 10 bhumis, starting from part of meditation, So that's the where that the usage of special insight comes in. With the sharpest wisdom of wisdom realizing, non-conceptual direct realization of wisdom of emptiness, also first time, achieved when you in the first moment of path of seeing, and that is also a point that you achieve the capability of special insight, because before that, you have achieved the shamatha on meditation. So yeah. So something like that, I think, whether I answer your question or not.
Yeah, very, very clear, Gisela. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Alejandro, do you?
Sí, the next question, 1 second, pull it up. The next question, it says, how to recognize subtle laxity or dullness that appears during the meditation without agitating the mind, or how to apply the antidote without disturbing the meditation session when you're in very relaxed, but there's not intensity in the mind regarding the object of meditation.
Yeah. So usually the mind of introspection is the one that detect, these subtle laxities, the subtle obstacles, such as laxity, without disturbing the mindfulness on the object of your meditation. So usually when we develop, the stages of the shamatha meditation, the mindfulness always accompanied by introspection. The introspection mind. The introspection mind is very much like kind of a wisdom aspect of the mind. In fact, that introspective mind eventually will develop into the wisdom aspect of a special insight. Through training, throughout, from very beginning, from now onward, whatever meditation we do, because meditation in Buddha Dharma is not just stay blindly focused, not like that. You need to have awareness. You need to have the clarity of the object of meditation, whatever it is. You see, so that clarity, the clarity, and as well as the steady focus, of course, directly done by the mindfulness. But introspection is, in fact, is the one that which monitor the mindfulness to stay intact with that. You see, so that introspective mind all the time, go along the stages of the shamatha training. So the only differences is along the stages of shamatha training, from the meditational side, how much force from the motivation that I want to dedicate to the introspection mind. Sometimes you don't have to pay too much load to the introspective mind. Like kind of, okay, now I'm going to I'm already reaching to a level of a quite high level of shamatha meditation, but still there's a danger of occurrence of subtle laxity. So I will already assign the introspective mind to be lightly vigilant, not be too active to vigilant, but lightly vigilant.
Before the meditation.
Yes. So before the meditation, you kind of design. You already kind of like assign the work. Then within the meditation, the mindfulness introspection, they know so well. They communicate by themselves accordingly.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Rafa has another questions. Rafa, if you want to open your microphone.
Yes, Tasi Delay Kesela. Thank
Mr.
you
Lei.
very much for this precious teaching. My question is regarding analytical meditation. When we are doing analytical meditation, how can we make longer the insight? When an insight comes, how can we make longer, and how can we be more concentrate and during more time focusing on that special experience?
So to prolong the meditation session, meditation practice, there's a two way to prolong. One is, it's very much depend on individual. If you are, enjoying the meditation session, then on that same pace that you can prolong it, because you are still, there's no occurrent obstacle, and you still feel the benefit, and not by force, but very much because of you feel benefit, you feel inspired, so you can prolong, gradually. But one thing important is never to force, because the force doesn't work. Because force may work for a few times, but eventually you may give up. You see. So that's one thing. The experience of the meditators, because of they feel the immediate impact of the meditation on them, such as tranquility, such as the void of any graspings, such as feeling uplifted, inspired, comfortable. Then they prolong 5 minutes more, more and more. Sometimes they can able to remain many hours, maybe 5-6 hours, or even whole day, like that. You see, so that's one thing. The another way to prolong the meditation session, especially to someone that they like to do meditation, but then very easy encountering of obstacle. Can be external obstacle like disturbances, like sound, or mosquitoes, or it can be anything, or it could be your own internal obstacle, like laziness, tiredness, or excitement, etc. Then you can still do very lengthy meditation, but with many sessions, many short sessions, 10, 20 sessions, maybe each session, maybe just 5 minutes, but maybe 30 sessions a day. And another key important point is, whichever type of meditation session you do, always end when you are, when you are feeling good. If you is about to feel lazy, about to get distracted, you better stop. You better end the session there, and you can resume, sooner, like that. So these two are the way that, something like that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rafa. Thank you.
The next question, sorry. Yeah, the next question is, to transform our mind, we need to study, reflect, and meditate. Could Geshe-la explain the difference between reflect and meditate or contemplate? With the study and reflection, we also familiarize our mind with how things are and with virtuous thoughts. Somehow, I don't see a clear distinction between reflect and meditate. So the question is the difference between reflect and meditate.
Yeah. So first of all, this three things, which is must, study, reflect, and meditate. you have to, you know, each of these three has objective, ultimate goal. When you study to gain wisdom of study. When you reflect, you know, you reflect to gain a wisdom of reflect. When you meditate, you meditate to gain the wisdom of meditation. You see, so there are three goals. So what you are studying is the studying of, like, such as the Buddhist treatise, and you understand correct contents, correct meanings, you know, all the correct information. When you gain that correct information in your head, in your understanding, so that is the wisdom of learning. So now that wisdom of learning, yes, you learn exactly what the teaching says, you learn exactly what the Buddha says, but you are not 100% sure from your side. You are very much dependent on the book, dependent on the Buddha, isn't it? If I corner you, if I debate with you, I give you very harsh opposition to what you have understood, what you have learned, you may say, oh, yeah, Buddha says so, but I think seems like now what he said, I think maybe not true, you know, you know, because I see that the objections, you know. So that means you gain the wisdom of learning, but you have not yet gained the wisdom of analysis. So now, what is the analysis? You analyze through logic, through reasoning, you know, every single dharma, you know. You say, yeah, you know, say compassion is so wonderful, but then you analyze with the logic, with reasoning, and with common sense. These three things: logic, reasoning, common sense. Compassion is so wonderful, but is this really wonderful? Logic. Is this really wonderful? Reasoning. Is this really wonderful? Common sense. Oh yes, exactly what I read, exactly what Buddha said, now makes sense. You see? So whenever you make sense with these three things, means you contemplated well on the teachings of compassion, and you gain the wisdom of contemplation. So similar goes with any topic, like meditation. We talk so much about meditation. It's more of, we believe in meditation based on what the teaching says and what the teacher says, but this is good because you are questioning, you are analyzing, you know, you are analyzing. Before you meditate on it, you learn about meditation. Now you are clarifying, you are debating with me, you are questioning about this topic. We are analyzing, you see. But still the analysis have to take even furthermore. Maybe this analysis is more about maybe logic. I'm giving logical reasonings or the textual confirmations, or maybe through some examples that I experience. But it is necessary for you to figure it out with your own common sense in relation to meditation. Is meditation really bring peace? Try it out, you know. You analyze. It's really like scientifically, you know, like analyzing it like that. So you analyze, okay. So after that, you have no objection towards the meditation from your, what really meditation that, you know, I think easiest is like compassion, you know. After analyze about compassion, there's no objection with the logic for the definition of compassion. There's no objection of common sense to the definition of compassion. There's no objection of reasonings, you know, about the compassion. Now, even someone come with a gun, say that you must give up compassion because compassion is bad, you will not, because you gain the wisdom of analysis what really compassion is. And I can say, you know, many masters in Tibet during the revolution, you know, they were in jail, and they, you know, the communists cautioned about their practice. They put a gun and say, this You say your Buddhist practice is a poison. You say you must give up. Otherwise, I will shoot you. You say, no, I have gained the wisdom of that. So you should. Doesn't matter. This is more precious. Then because they have gained the wisdom. Okay. So like that. So now, what is the meditation? Meditation is placing your concentration, focus, or placing your how to say, your wisdom describing about the characteristic of the object of meditation on the wisdom that you gain from analysis. So in another word, meditation, what do you meditate on? You meditate on the wisdom of contemplation. Whatever the wisdom of, what is the object of meditation? The object of meditation is the wisdom that you gain from contemplation. That is the object of meditation. Otherwise, the object of meditation is very frail, very fragile. You see, because when you start to meditate, you are no more questioning. You are no more analyzing whether it's correct or not. You are completely familiarizing what is definite, either through one single focus or either through describing, like, Buddha's eye, nose, from the crown to toe. You already know that all those Buddha's major and minor qualities are definite enlightened quality. There's no doubt, because you already gained wisdom of contemplation on that. So now the job of meditation is you just count, you just visualize without any questioning, without any doubt. But it is not really one object, one focus. It's not like you are describing it. You see, so each time you describe, which is meaning each time you do analytical meditation, you are leaving such a strong imprint in your continue, because the meditative mind is more of unique, more of subtle state of mind, not those gross busy mind, slightly more subtle mind. You see, so the more the deeper meditation that you do, the deeper the mind that it becomes. So the deeper the meditation, the stronger the imprint that we achieve, the carving, imprint that we achieve in our continue. You see? So now when you focus, then you don't have to, you don't have to describe, because you already analyze done. So now simply focus, simply place your mind onto it. In other words, simply be aware of it. So there are meditation, from all the different traditions, Nyingma, Kagyu, Sajja, talk about Dzogchen, talk about Mahamudra, talk about whatever, Shamatha or Vipassana. The key point is, be aware of it is absolute. Just don't interpret. No need to interpret. No need to describe. Just settle your mind onto it. You see. So then, because there's no faults from there. Because the object of meditation is a correct object, and the meditating mind is the correct mind, and what you're going to gain is only benefit after benefits. So now, the simplest differences is analytic, contemplation. From the learning, contemplation, meditation. The contemplation stage is you are not actualize 100% wisdom into the knowledge. Not 100% confirmation, because you still need to analyze about it, as I mentioned before. But when you meditate on it, you are already 100% sure about it, and you are simply familiarizing it. So something like that.
So in the relating to what you say, Gisela, in the same session called meditation session, you will have these 3 steps, right? Like maybe recalling the teaching, analyzing, reasoning, common sense, and then from the trace of this analysis, you focus the mind and just place the mind on that trace and just let it stay there, right?
Yes.
But in the same session.
Yeah, in the same session, you can do that. So in Tibetan, very nicely said, Te sam gom sum yamatewa, means te sam gom sum. Te means learning, sam means contemplation, gom means meditation, yamatewa means, without separation. In one session, usually like in a great monastery, like philosophy studies, supposed to be, many does, but some may not able to do. So when we study the philosophy, you have to, we were advised to do 3 things together. You are memorizing the correct content, learning, and at the same time you are debating, you are questioning, which is analyzing it. Then after each rigorous debate, you gain the wisdom, then you meditate on it. Your day is spent like that. 20 over years, you're supposed to spend like that, but not everybody will do that. But so that itself is regarded, you are doing meditation, you are doing contemplation, you're also learning, you see. But then, but you can also do separately. Of course, you can also do separately. Let's say if you want to do shamatha, then you have to do separately, because shamatha meditation is already reached to a meditation stage.
Yeah.
So you cannot afford to analyze it. The analysis and the study is a preparatory for the shamatha meditation.
The next question, I think you solved it with all of this, but just to make one more question on that subject is, at what point, like for example, you meditate analytical meditation on the land rim in every subject, at what point someone has to move on to the next subject or the next theme proposed in the text? Not maybe, because what I understand is that to get the realization of a subject is very, very difficult. But what is the minimum necessary experience that someone has to have in order to move on from precious human rebirth to impermanence and death?
So that is a very so there are 2 ways. One is just to leave an imprint. Then you study the Lambrim, the gradual topic. Then you also compare with other texts. You listen to other teachings. You do the analytical process. You rationalize, etc. Then once you gain the wisdom of analysis on that subject, let's say precious human rebirth, then do a short reflection like meditation. You can do, maybe you can take maybe 1 week off for meditation on that particular topic, or you can just right after, when you complete that, within 1 hour, you do all 3 things together, just to leave an imprint. So this one is a common way to study Lambrim, common way to study Dharma. Because when we study Dharma, if we just study textual, then the purpose is not fulfilled. Because Dharma, the purpose of Buddha's intent to teach all the stages of the Dharma is for us to gain realization on the path, because these are the path. The realization only can be gained through meditation, nothing else. But meditation only can be done if you complete the earlier two. You see, so therefore, so at least as to leave an imprint, or maybe who knows, because you have already you already accumulated so much imprint from many past lifetimes. Maybe this time it's just like reminder, you know. So within a short 5 minute precious memory, but you study, you know, kind of remind, you contemplate, you know, maybe a few seconds. Oh, then you meditate, you gain the realization. Possible. So we just have to take chance. We just have to try it out, you know. Don't know which category we will be in, we don't know. But we have to, but the way to study Dharma is totally different from other kind of knowledge, you know. So this is something that sometimes many people miss that. You see, we thought studying Dharma means just get a knowledge. You know, I mean, if people want to be professor, want to, you know, just be a teacher, but not practitioner, then it's fine. But if we truly want to be a Dharma practitioner, then these three must go together. So that's one thing. Now the very extent, the advanced level, then to go these three things together in the Lamrim, then there are practitioners who do that. You learn the subject, let's say precious human rebirth, you contemplate, then you get into a retreat meditation until you literally gain realization on that path. Then only you move to the next subject. Then you move to the next subject, you know, and there are, you know, how to say, the practitioner, you know, first they really study well. Then, especially, you know, study all the different texts, like including, like, let's say an example, Lamrim, including Lamrim Chemo. Then after that, they concise into a small Lamrim, which is the foundation of all good qualities by Lama Tsongkhapa. Each topic or just one verse, because you already gain all the knowledge. You already analyze everything. Now you just need a guideline. You see, so how they do, each session, you know, you recite entire Lamrim, just 1 page, 1.5 page. You have a glimpse reflection on the meaning. So you leave the imprint of the entire part. Then after that, you specifically focus on one particular topic. Let's say the first one, Guru devotion. You meditate until you gain the realization of Guru devotion. Maybe it may take 1 month. It may take 1 year. It may take the rest of your life. Doesn't matter. The benefit here is you're able to leave imprint of entire part, but at the same time, you're able to focus on one topic to gain realization. So this is like you know, like beginner person like me, you know, one thing that I try to do every day, at least leave an imprint of the entire part, just in case death comes before I gain the realization on the stages of the path, and at least leave an imprint, you know. You see, so quickly read the whole thing, reflect, boom, 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 boom. Then after that, go back and, oh, if tomorrow is still not dead yet, then if not get realization, you focus on again, you meditate again. If already gain realization, you move on to that subject, like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question says, what are the benefits in the physical and subtle level of the 7 points of meditation posture?
Oh, yeah, the 7-point meditational posture is, in fact, it's you know, it's extremely beneficial from the different posture. Even though there are many meditation postures, like all the different aspects of Buddha's sittings are all meditation posture. So actually it's quite convenient to everybody. You know, if people have a knee problem, want to sit on the chair, like Maitreya, you know, you can sit like Maitreya. It's like sitting on the chair. You know, if some people have a, you know, want to sit on the floor, but cannot sit cross-legged, then sit like a Thara. you know, or sit like Milarepa, etc., etc. But among all, the one thing that, especially for beginner, recommended to do the 7 Vajrayana meditation posture. So it has, you know, tremendous impact to leave an imprint of all the enlightened qualities, like such as, just give an example, cross leg. The cross leg is symbolized as a Vajra, indestructible Vajra sitting. That represent to actualize enlightenment within that very body or that very sitting. So whenever you sit cross-legged, you are very much like imitating, you know, Shakyamuni Buddha under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya. You know, that kind of meritorious benefit that you receive each time you do cross-leg. You see. So then an example, you know, the 2 hands putting together, then all the finger, you know, touching each other, like let's an example, like, you know, I mean, 2 hands, you know, the method and wisdom, you know, the right hand has a method, left hand has a wisdom. You see, so how great wisdom, but you don't union with the method, cannot travel on the path. Like how good one wing for the bird, but if you don't have the other wing, the bird cannot fly. So just coming together, you know, give us such a meritorious impact to your continuum, the unification of wisdom and method. So unbelievable, you see. Then also physical touched, the wisdom method touching together. Then the ring finger, you know, it says that, you know, even biologically, you know, even scientifically, there's a nerve that which connect to your heart. But then the subtle, you know, the subtle channel system is connected to your central chakra, which is the heart chakra. So by method and wisdom coming together, it stimulates your core being to develop in the bodhicitta and the wisdom of emptiness, you know, such kind, you see. Then sitting straight, like sitting straight is very much the benefit of, you know, gaining the you know, the practice of the, you know, higher tantra, like such as completion stage in relation to utilizing of the subtle channels, the wind, the subtle mind, the subtle energy, etc. So those of you who have high Sukhitantric initiation, you know, the GUIA the Heruka's the generation and completion commentary, you know, you can read, you know, all those benefits, or you can also understand from the Lama Tsongkhapa's great path and ground of Tantra, you know, all the different significance emphasized. Very amazing, you know. So just simply sitting the 7 Vajrayana meditation posture, just sitting like that alone, it already impact your spiritual growth.
Okay. Next question is, it is said that meditation posture is something very important, but sometimes you can see the posture of realized masters, great masters, collapsing during meditation. So is this meditation posture important just for beginners?
So another one thing is that, you know, we have to know our own, you know, roughly, you know, the compatibility of our body and our mind. One thing that, one of the preliminary basis for our successful meditation is not to get disturbances in relation to our uncomfortableness on the physical level. Because when our physical level is uncomfortable, that impact the mind to be uncomfortable. So that's one of the things. So therefore, sometime, like seven Virajana meditation posture, or all the Buddha's different meditation posture that we are familiar, we may, we know they are the correct one, they are beneficial, but it may not work to you. It may not necessarily work to you. And that comes the account of our past karma. So there's one example. There's one example in Tibet. There's one meditator. He tried to do this, seven meditation on seven Virajana meditation posture, but he has the correct wisdom of learning, contemplation, meditation, but he's not gaining realization. So he went to ask another senior meditator who has a clairvoyance. Say, what happened with me? I'm doing everything correct, but it's not gaining realization. What is it? And that meditator says that your meditation posture is wrong. Then he said, no, I'm doing the seven Virajana meditation posture. How could it be wrong? I did the most correct one. Then the senior meditator says, no, in your past life, you were a cow. So your physical the system there's a great influence. The subtle aggregates a great influence from your past life. Because whenever cow rests, they rest on the ground like that, isn't it? So he says you should do meditation like lying down like a cow. So relax down like a cow. Then you do the rest all same, but the only sitting posture you lie down like a cow. So then he went back and he did the cow kind of lying down. Immediately he gained realization. The higher realization on those channels and chakras, everything become function. Everything become function. So there's a great influence of the karma. Also, can play a role, like that. So that's why sometimes we need to check, what is the progress in our meditation. Even though everything you're doing correctly, but then the realization is not happening, then sometimes it's good to consult with your master or someone greater practitioner, especially your guru or great meditator to whom that we roughly know that they have a certain capability of observation. You can check. So this is one another example. Also, certain obstacle can be because of the the thickness of the negative karma from the past, or exhaustion of the merit. So even though everything doing correct, but you don't have enough merit to resource you to gain the realization, or you don't have the container is not clean enough to hold the realization of the meditation because of too much negativities, negative imprint, even though you may not know, but too much negative subtle imprints out there. So when by consulting, so they may give you a correct advice, say you should stop the meditation for some time, engage in preliminary practices, like such as Vajrasattva practices, purification practices, or it is to boost the merit, maybe will advise you to do meritorious deeds like water bowl offering, etc., mandala offering practices, or guru yoga practices, like all the Ngondo different practices, then after that, when you do the meditation, even a short session, you gain the realization like that.